Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome to another edition of Speak Up or Shut Up. I'm your host, David Sears. I'm going to be keeping you company for a little bit here in this very special episode. Remember, if you have not clicked like on the pages yet, run across the Facebook, not literally, virtually run across the Facebook, run a search for Speak Up or Shut Up. You can leave a comment on some of our interesting topics, share it with your friends and family with you. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the National Grade 6 Assessment Examination results. Now recently, as you know, last week, the official results came out last week, Tuesday. The Minister of Education, Dr. Rupert Rupert announced the results, the final results. And while there might be some improvement in some areas, there's a lack in some other areas. But it's clear, it's very clear that the private schools are doing tremendously well. They're doing great. All right. So nevertheless, congratulations to you. Even here in Linden and Region 10, Royal Halls did extremely well, and that's a private institution as well. So it leaves me to wonder, I have a few questions that are pending in my head, and I just want to vent. I don't want to offend anybody, but I believe all of this is in best interest of moving forward and ensuring that the young people have equal opportunities just like anybody else. All right. So the National Grade 6 Assessment Examination, commonly known as the Common Entrance Examination, has been around for a very long time. In my days, we call it the Common Entrance Examination. And it's just a single examination you wrote based on how many grades you got, that's where you place that in terms of schooling, high schooling. So it's a transition between grade 6 and grade 7, or moving over from primary into secondary school. And again, if you are somewhat considered extremely smart and you score high, well then you're placed at one of the top schools, right? But I have some concerns when it comes to that. Over the years, we've seen the education system and the structure being changed tremendously. You have the National Grade 2, National Grade 4, National Grade 6. Oh, come on! It's a lot of pressure when it comes to the learning and teaching and all of these things. I've been in the education system for over 10 years, and I can tell you, it's very taxing, not only on the lecturer's part or the teacher's part, but on the students and the parents' part, and even on resources. You find a lot of kids do extremely well because their parents probably can afford to send them to extra lessons or so on. But the thing is that it seems whoever have more or have more access to resources, they're the likely ones to do better in school, but not necessarily true. One of the problems that we're currently having in our educational system, I believe, is access to equal opportunities when it comes to resources. Like take for instance, one of the A-grade schools might have everything, up-to-date lab, up-to-date textbook, modernized computer facilities, you name it, they have it. But a school who might not can be considered that top or that high might not have access to all those resources as the other. And that is that really damaging our educational system. If we want to ensure that every child have an equal opportunity towards progressive growth educational wise, you must have the facilities in place, and that is what we don't have. I know that the government is going to be working very hard and trying to address this, right? But you're taking a child who might not have performed that well at National Grade 6. They are placed in what is considered again a low grade school, a secondary school, that don't have basic textbooks, basic labs, or any sort of thing that can move them from the level that they were at until a place that they should be, and that is definitely affecting our education system. I personally want to know, why is it that the private schools are doing so well? Now, are you trying to tell me that as a parent, I should consider taking $40,000 or $50,000 a term, or maybe even more, to pay a private school just to ensure my child gets the best when it comes to education? Honestly, I don't mind, because it's my child. But what about those who cannot afford it? What about those honest taxpayers out there who cannot afford to send their child to a private school? In Linden here, it is recorded that we have the highest trained teacher ratio in the country. But when I looked at the results, from 1 to 10, there's no top student, absolutely no top student in the country that came up from Linden. Fair enough, we recognize that Regma Primary, Watuka Primary, and Royal Halls have been doing tremendously well, and some other schools have done. Amelia's Ward seems to be a very good school. 1 Mile Primary is doing pretty well, and so forth. So kudos to them, kudos to the teachers. But I think at this stage that we're at, We're putting a lot of pressure on our children, and maybe that might be affecting their performance. I look at these kids when they're going to school on a daily basis, and they have some huge hiking bags on their back. Those who kind of fetch their bags, they have one of those rollers as if they're going to the airport every single morning. You know, outside of the physical side effects when it comes to scoliosis and all these things, it's a strain. It's a really strain, and we're taking away the whole childhood sense of education, and we're trying to turn them into, I don't know, some mutants when it comes to education. Look, I understand that we want the best for our kids, right? And it might seem as if I'm going all around circles when it comes to this particular topic. We want the best for our kids, fair enough, but we're pressuring them too much. There must be a balance of things, and I believe as long as that balance exists when it comes to academics and co-curricular activities, they're going to perform well. And one of the things I want to tell the parents out there, not because your child did not do well in National Grade 6 assessment examination, they're a failure in life. They're not. They're not a failure. This is just a stepping stone. They get into a high school, but you have to be there. You have to be that supportive figure. The teachers have to play their role. The parents have to play their role. The students have to play their role. As long as all those columns are in place there, your child is going to do extremely well. Now listen to this. A few years back, a lot of kids that top National Grade 6 assessment examination and so forth, they get placed at great schools, whether it be Queen's College and so on. But after then, you don't hear anything about them, like what is going on. You would expect that they would top CXC and Cape and University and all these things. But again, it's just an examination, and we should not treat it as if it's a life-determined factor. Even though it gives them maybe a better chance at a better education, don't be caught up and sidelined when it comes to loving your child, appreciating him or her, and giving them the necessary support. Finally, I want to encourage the parents out there to continue supporting your child. Be there for them, even at a tender age. Read to them, give them that necessary support, and they will not let you down. They will not let you down. Hey guys, that's my time. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Speak Up or Shut Up. Let me know what are your thoughts on the National Grade 6 Assessment Examination, the results, how your child did, and how we can better improve the educational system in our country. Remember, it's a unity front. Alright? Thank you so much. God bless. Take care, and peace.